Selling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing how to grow your business. I hope I have a good connection. I am driving on the 105 highway in California, on my way to the 405 highway in California. But I had a question today, which is a good question I haven't dealt with in a long time, which is Facebook, which is how does Facebook advertising what's a better question? Is it worth... how do you fit Facebook advertising into your marketing plan when you wholesale or flip houses? So I'm going to talk about my experiences. I'm going to talk about what I know from other people who've done it. I'm going to talk about a bunch of things about Facebook. So there was a huge change in Facebook after the 2016 election. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But you got to understand, for me, I tried Facebook advertising for about a year. I did not get great leads. And I believe the difference between Facebook ads and some other ads, and I'm going to try and put this as delicately as I can, is that a lot of people who are scrolling through their feed on Facebook are not really paying attention to what they're clicking on. And I think I just hit some massive traffic. Well, at least I know we'll be able to have this whole thing go through. I think that people don't read all the copy on a Facebook ad. I think that people sometimes don't read any of the copy on a Facebook ad. They'll click based on a picture. And it's not the same as, let's say, a pay-per-click ad where someone is actually typing in a keyword that you are hoping means that they are looking to sell their house. On Facebook, what I got a lot of was people looking to rent and people looking to buy. And I think the reason why that happens is because people click on an ad, they're thinking about buying a house. They get an ad, they don't really read it. It says something about buying a house, even though it says that I want to buy a house, and they just click on it. Now, what a lot of people who run Facebook advertising will tell you is that they're going to put those people through a funnel that further qualifies them. So if somebody's looking to rent or somebody's looking to buy, they are not going to get sent to you as a lead. And I will tell you that I don't know of any really successful way to funnel out the bad leads in Facebook. Now, having said that, there are people who a big chunk of their business comes from Facebook advertising. But when you really talk to those people in depth, you will find out that they have a much, much higher or lower conversion rate from what their leads are than other marketing channels. So what that means is it may take them 50 to 60 leads, right? Not prospects, but leads, before they get a deal in Facebook. And that's a lot of talking to people, and it's a lot more than most other media channels where the numbers are, let's say, between 10 and 25. Now, you may say, I don't care, Facebook advertising is cheap, I want to do it. You can try it for sure, and it may work in other areas for sure. But there's a huge difference in what happened after the 2016 elections. Let me explain what happened, because some people weren't even in the business before that. Before 2016, you could get incredibly targeted Facebook data. Facebook knew everything about its users, and they knew people who were looking to sell a house or buy a house. That's how much they knew. And you could target ads specific for that. And I had a campaign that was almost ready to go. But Facebook blamed itself and its policies. Blamed a lot of the election on its own policies. And let me explain what that means. People don't know this, but in essence, Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, basically won him the election via Facebook. Now you can say, how the hell do you do that? He was able to target people who were really on the fence. He avoided people that were extreme, that were definitely going to vote for Democrat or definitely vote Republican, and he targeted those people. And he, in essence, won the election for Donald Trump on social media. It sounds crazy, but it did. It happened. And people were pissed off. And Facebook, which is clearly a Northern California, Silicon Valley, left-leaning, I'm not going to say everybody there is, but mostly populated by left-leaning people, really felt incredible guilt about the fact that they helped facilitate Donald Trump's win and completely changed its policies about targeting data, right? There was a whole thing about, what was that, the company. But there were a bunch of companies that were able to really figure out what was going on. I personally completely disagree with their overreaction, right? any information on Facebook you've given voluntarily. This is not information that they sucked out of your phone by listening to you when you weren't paying attention. So I thought there was no problem with it, but they completely changed the point. Now you can barely target a zip code in Facebook. You have to be much more broad, and people felt like it was an invasion of privacy. I think it's absurd. I don't think there's any. If you're posting on Facebook what you like and what you don't like, and who you follow, and who your friends are, that information is, in my opinion, Facebook's to do with which they please, and to absolutely sell it if someone wants that, right? If I say that I like baseball, and I'm looking at baseball gloves, and a baseball glove, somebody's selling baseball gloves, they want to target me. I don't know why it's a problem, but it's completely changed. So after the 2016 election, not long after the 2016 election, the way you can target your ads on Facebook has changed, and it's not as good. And Facebook is of the belief that there's privacy issues involved in it, and that therefore, even if the Facebook ads have lower effectiveness and worse efficiency, that's better for the overall good of the world, who can revel in their privacy belief of the privacy protection. Let's be honest, between you and me, there's no freaking privacy on social media, and to be more brutally honest, phone is probably listening to half the things you say anyway, and no one changes their privacy settings. But unfortunately, when you want to target ads to people who are looking to sell, not as easy on Facebook, and it gives you really broad parameters to advertise to, and you're going to get tons of people who have no interest in selling your house. So I don't know a lot of people who have Facebook as a main channel of advertising. At least in the real estate business, there are people who do tons of Facebook advertising in other areas. You know, selling physical products. That stuff works on Facebook, but for real estate, I don't know. So I would avoid it if I were you. I know people doing it, and I find that 99 out of 100 that I speak to are not happy with it. But if you're in a different area, maybe it'll work where you are. And it is not expensive, right? You can commit for a few $100 a month and see how it works. But I would say you should be prepared for zero deals. I had a deal. Should have been a deal. Ended up not being a deal. One deal came from a Facebook ad. But again, I advertised for a year and spent a lot of money on it. But it really didn't produce the results that I wanted. And I think I gave it a good enough amount of time. Like I said, over a year. And again, that brings us back to what we've discussed before. Whatever marketing channel you're going to experiment with, you need to give it a year, which a lot of people have trouble with, especially when there are gurus out there saying that if you do something for 2 months, you're going to know right away whether it works or not. I think it's a mistake. And maybe in other states, but in New York, where everything takes a lot longer, you sort of need to be on top of the fact that you're going to build up a pipeline slowly, and some of those deals are going to turn into, some of those prospects are going to turn into leads. Some of those leads are going to turn into deals over time later, in a long time from when you start. So I hope this was helpful. Obviously, I am not a fan of Facebook advertising to get seller leads, but doesn't mean it doesn't work. Doesn't mean it won't work for you. Doesn't mean it won't work in other places. So it doesn't mean maybe that some things will change with Facebook's algorithm, or some guy will figure out how to make it work. I don't know. But I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in finding out more about what else, one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com, which I have to change the whole program. Now it's raining here in Alameda, and now it's not raining. And what else? Oh, please keep the comments coming. I post 5 times a week. I don't always know what I'm going to say. This came from a question. Keep the questions coming. You can ask any question. It does not have to be about the video you're watching. If it's something simple, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's something I've covered recently, I'll send you a link to a video on it. And if it's something that I haven't covered in a while, or I've never covered before, I will be happy to do a brand new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'm trying to shut